welcome back to episode... Oh, it's 5 now, isn't it, RJ? 5, with me, Carey.
And me, Rhys Jenkins.
Okay, well, I'm not actually here this week, but don't worry, you're not hearing things, obviously, due to the science and technology of recording, as you're used to, because this is not a live show. We recorded this about, 3 or 4 hours after the last show, so
Yes.
You've grabbed a pizza. What did you have for dinner?
I had a pizza.
You had a pizza, standard, in the TAV, and I went to an event at the law school. But now we're back. My cold is getting a little bit worse, so probably a little bit more nasal than before. How's your health?
It's okay. It's fine. Same as usual, really.
Great. Perma healthy.
Yeah.
Cool. We've got a few things to talk about today. When do we not? Okay. It's it's not topical this show because on the way, who knows, something incredible could happen. You know, we could have another earthquake. We could have a no Libya. We could have a Libyan takeover of the world. You know, they might have some enriched uranium projects going on behind the scenes, and we may all be dead. So this could be the last. You know, this could be the last. This could be our legacy. The latest recording. Anyway, that's unlikely. We're going to have a Question RJ special with some extra comments from the group. Then we're going to have part 2 of The Legend of RJ's story.
Yes.
How you live up to the last one, I don't know, but I'm excited to hear it. Part 3 is going to be a riddle. Now, this is a riddle. When we introduced the idea of having a riddle on the show now and again, I had one in mind. I saw it on the Ricky Gervais show and thought, I can't use that today. That's bad form. But I think it's been long enough. It's been about at least 2 weeks. So we're going to use that riddle because it's my favourite. And then we're going to end with that classic dinner party question. You know, it's not what you ask at a dinner party because it's a bit rude because you're talking about guests that aren't your own. But is that mind exercise? Who would, you know, picking 3 dinner party guests and who would they be and why? I'll probe some probing questions on your selection. Okay, so we've had the intro. I'm not getting very good at playing these jingles, but I'm now ready. It's not seamless, and maybe I'll get better as the series goes on. We got a jingle.
Maybe you guys might think I'm nuts.
Question RJ!
Question.
If you want the true pleasure, guys, you must swallow it.
Question RJ!
Well, I wouldn't have the testicles, obviously, because that would just be illegal.
Okay, it gets me every time. Thanks, Jonnie. Okay, so you've got quite a few questions. This should be a decent period of the show. Tom Whitehurst, he asks, at what point in your life did you feel the most alone? And what are you really scared of? It don't have to be the same thing, but can you think of a time in your life when you were most alone?
Well, it's very difficult. I've got to say, maybe the night my grandma died.
Oh, okay.
Either that, or it was maybe the night. I don't really want to mention it on air, but no, I've had a couple of other nights where it just one time I felt sick at Christmas, and I just felt absolutely horrible. Oh,
sick at Christmas.
I know.
Were you a child?
I wasn't that old. So it was 2005, I think. So
okay.
Not that. It was 5 years ago.
Okay.
So not that. Well, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
6 years ago. Nearly 6 years ago.
But you felt lonely then.
I did feel lonely. Yeah, it was. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. Just. I hate feeling sick. It's a horrible feeling.
Well, good job for you that you're so healthy all year round.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Okay.
I walk a lot.
You what?
I walk a lot.
Oh, you walk. That's good.
Yeah.
I walk a fair bit.
You do.
Hasn't prevented me from this cold. Okay. And part 2 of that question was, what really scares you?
Oh, various things really. The dark. When I'm in bed, I can feel kind of vulnerable, and that sometimes I just poke my head under the sheet, and if it's dark, then I can feel as if something's about to jump out and attack me.
Really?
Just like.
Has it ever happened before?
No, never happened before. It's like through media and stuff, and it's just like scary faces you see on telly. They can just stick with you as a child. I think once I watched a DVD in French class when I was in comprehensive school. It was called Red Herring. It was about solving a murder. And when we were in the house of the guy who got murdered, or the actual scene where he drank a glass of wine and fell down and died. Obviously, that really does scare me. And the murderer was wearing a cloak. And at the end, when he figured out who it was, they put the cloak down, and I've had visions of it being like a skeleton and stuff. I was like, ugh.
So that wasn't a reconstruction. That was a cloaked murderer.
Cloaked murderer. Yeah.
Okay.
God damn it.
I think there may be some nasty murderers. I don't know if many of them are going around in cloaks. So don't fear a cloaked murderer. Cool. Okay. Well, that was honest. That was interesting. Another question from Tom. Is remember a couple of shows ago we had this idea of what a consequence sheet was. You introduced us to the idea of a consequence sheet.
Sweet.
People outside of Neath Primary School or wherever you went aren't really
Blind Baglam Primary School.
Okay, well it's now famous.
It's now famous, yes.
Most famous alumni, I don't doubt.
I hope so. Katrin Harris, Lisa Jones, your legends are the favourite alumni. Don't worry, it's fine.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, so his question is there anyone you would like to make fill out a consequence sheet? Tell us why, and what would you expect them to learn from it?
Well, actually, that's a tough one. It takes my mind back to Scrubs, actually. And if someone was arrogant, and I'd want them to fill out a consequence sheet and learn something. One of Dr. Cox's famous rants. I won't. Do you want to hear a bit of it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, do you even know why I asked you to do your own evaluation? Climb up. I wanted you to think about yourself, and I mean really think. What you're good at, what you suck at, and then I want you to put it down on paper so I can see it, not so anyone else can see it, but so that you could see it. Because at the end of the day, you don't have to answer to me, you don't have to answer to Kelso, you don't even have to answer your goddamn patients, for God's sake. There's only one guy you have to answer to, newbie, and that's you.
Well, that is a fantastic memory and great theatre.
Thank you.
The only
Thank you very much.
See it, but you can all hear it at leisure. Repeatedly, I don't doubt. Okay, good. So, someone in a hospital. So, for being arrogant, you said?
Yes, for being arrogant, thinking they're full of it, to be honest.
Okay.
Happily, not many people come into my life like that, and I've got one example, but I won't say his name out on there, to be honest with you, because that would be very, it'd be disrespectful, and. No. I'd want.
Do we have a code name?
We'll have a code name. Oh God, Mr. Cricketer, because he's into cricket.
Okay.
I won't say what nation he sports. I'll just say he's Mr. Cricket.
Oh, I prefer Mr. Cricketer.
Mr. Cricketer.
I like
he's
that.
Mr. Cricketer now.
That's nice. It rolls off the tongue.
Mr. Cricketer. I want him to bloody learn a lesson.
Not being arrogant.
Yeah, not being arrogant. Not to go and say to me, "Go sit somewhere else." You go sit somewhere else, you filthy jackass. Sorry, viewers. I'm really sorry.
Well, okay. So, but has he actually done what's he done that's arrogant? So you're saying you're an arrogant person.
Yeah. I don't really care about him, to be honest with you. But I mean, he just doesn't like me, to be honest with you. He's just one of those people who just doesn't want to like you, to be honest. And
that's not nice.
Yeah.
So is he at uni or is it school?
Yes, he's at uni. Yeah, and he does law.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by Mr. Cricketer. And if any of you law students in particular know who Mr. Cricketer is, then give him a piece of my mind and tell him to... Intentional silence there, because we don't want to stoop down to Mr. Cricketer's level.
Okay, that's fair.
Never mind.
Well.
We went there. Anyway... hey, I can defend you, RJ. Don't worry about that.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ed.
Cool. Okay, so arrogance for Mr. Cricketer is the answer to Tom's second question. Yeah. All right, Max Brown. He's a first-time poster, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what you got to think about here is it moral Yes or no?
Yeah.
Should it be legal? Yes or no? No, it could be not. It could be immoral and illegal. It could be immoral and legal. It could be moral and it could be illegal. It could be moral. It could be all those. Actually, those are all an extensive and exhaustive
All
list
right, I
of the
don't
options.
think you were
Okay.
going to stop then.
All right. Okay. So, abortion. Should it? Is it immoral? Is it immoral to have an abortion?
Well, classically, yes. I'd say kind of yes, because it is the case for most sections of society because they can handle having a baby. If it is, then it is immoral, but you'd have to have a really good excuse. Like I said before on one episode, you have to have a very good excuse for breaking the law. What's protesting?
What's a very good excuse?
Very good excuse is, for some people, abortion could be like the equivalent of throwing a bomb into an MP's car, which would not be funny. Which wouldn't be funny. In fact, it would be goddamn stupid, to be honest.
Can you explain what you mean by it's the equivalent of throwing a bomb into an MP's car?
Yeah, an MP's car. I mean, it can be that for certain sections of society. I mean, for example, if the mother was like a jackass, she thought, "Oh God, I don't want this thing." You know,
that's a good excuse if she's a jackass.
I mean, you wouldn't want a child coming into the world. Well, actually, no, I'm wrong there, viewers. I think.
You said, have you had an epiphany of morality?
I've had an epiphany of morality. In fact, that child does deserve to come into the world, but hopefully, I hope it sees sense and that it will realise that the mother is a jackass.
Okay.
But I mean, there isn't.
So let's look at that. So you've got a jackass mother.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it moral or immoral for that mother to have an abortion? I think you said it was immoral. Did you end up with that?
Yeah, I did say it was immoral on grounds.
And should it be illegal?
No.
Okay, so it's immoral, but it should be legal.
It shouldn't. It should be legal. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. That's an interesting. That's often how these lines.
Of course, yeah.
How these things are resolved.
But it has to be really good reason
All right.
to be legal.
And that's how we are at the moment, really.
Yeah.
I think generally. I mean, no one would say it's immoral.
I agree in where we are now.
Okay.
To be honest.
Okay, prostitution. Is it moral?
No.
Okay.
It's not moral, and I really do think it should be illegal. I think there are other better ways of making money. To be honest with you, do you watch Jeremy Kyle show?
I mean, every way is a better way than the next to make money.
Yeah,
so,
of course. Jeremy Kyle. Do you watch Jeremy Kyle?
Thankfully, I stay well clear.
Well, he says to them, "Why don't you get off your goddamn asses and get a job and get to work?" And he has some truth there. You gotta realize that work has to be work is so wide and so
it's not good to work from home.
No, it's good to work from home wherever you're working, as long as you're doing something productive, something that's good.
What if you're doing something reproductive?
Reproductive, then you have to take some look at the sense. Yeah, you have to look at sense in the world. So, yeah. All right.
Cool. Okay. Last one. Pornography. Is it moral?
It's not moral.
No.
No, it can't be moral. No.
Is it a harm? Do you?
I really do think it's a harm, to be honest with you, and I think it should be illegal like cocaine. I don't like coke either, to be honest. No, don't get me started on drugs.
I won't try and start you on drugs.
Yeah, but really, thing is, you've got to really. Pornography sends the wrong message out to people, and it's just.
What should the message be?
The message should be that if you're gonna behave and feel in that way like every human does, then you really should do it in a healthy and secure way. There are ways, and you've got to explore those ways.
Cool. Well, I think it's time to move on to our next topic, and our next topic is We've all been anticipating this for a while. Part 2 of the RJ story, the legend of RJ.
I shall make it as quick as possible. I'll only give you one tip. It's long. It's slightly longer than the first one, but I will definitely do my best to cut it down to around 5
really
minutes.
try it.
Okay.
Don't go off on a tangent. Keep going.
Okay.
Go.
As RJ got out of his TARDIS, a spectacular circular hall greeted him. The citadel of the Time Aces. Not many get this honour. He was right. No student ever had the honour of stepping into the prestigious hall, for official business anyway. Welcome, RJ, a powerful voice behind him called. Hi, Dad, RJ replied. Am I in trouble? Because if you're going to exile me or something for stating the truth back on Earth, then I might as well get back inside my TARDIS and not bother coming here again. He always liked keeping things brief when it came to family matters. His parents had given him many lectures before, and he was well aware of how to conduct himself. His upbringing made sure of that. Well, RJ, if you want to keep it brief, then I guess I should tell you. The High Council of Time Aces have voted. You can become, as you described, Protector of Earth. However, you must do one thing. Exile for a year. As a test to see if RJ could protect the Earth. After exchanging brief farewells with his family, RJ was back to Earth, where a series of mysteries and experiences awaited him. Hello, Ed. I'm back. RJ smiled as he stepped down to Ed's gun. Good God, it's real, Ed's housemate, Jonnie, exclaimed. RJ told them everything about his mission, how he was fascinated to learn about Earth's culture and how to live. After they settled down to watch the news. After a brief introduction to human life, you guys are the best life ever! RJ beamed. The Millennium Stadium is under renovations. Some damage to the roof mechanism has been identified, which raised fears about the upcoming varsity match. But engineers have now fixed the problem. How long did it take to fix that mechanism? RJ asked curiously. About a few days, Ed replied, which made RJ's senses turn even more curious. That's exceptional. To fix bridges, it would take at least a few weeks after locating the problem and finding out how to fix it, he replied. Same applies for a stadium. This is something I can turn my attention to. The following morning, RJ and Ed arrived at the Millennium Stadium. Psychic paper allows me to get into anywhere, RJ told him. They found themselves near the engineering department. Hi, we'd like to ask you a few questions, if that's all right. We're a bit busy at the moment, I'm afraid, mate, but if you could just wait around here for 2 seconds, we'll be right back. Now, this is weird, RJ concluded after finding the main controls for the roof mechanism. After all, they did leave him in the engineering department. Someone's hiding something. Someone's hiding. Anything I can help you with? Said a loud voice behind them. Nah, we're okay, thanks, RJ replied to a tall, dark man who had a confident look on his face. You shouldn't be here. It's off limits. Before they could answer, he whipped out a small blue gun. Who are you? Well, as it's keeping us alive, I'm hardly likely to answer. Run! Before they knew it, they were bolting out of the stadium just before the man fired off a shot, which thankfully missed both of them. Students' Union, RJ said. We have to get there. They found themselves in the engineering department of the Students' Union. They must have all gone to lunch, the builders, RJ thought. And this time there was a guide there to show them round. And he showed them the designs to how to fix the Millennium Stadium roof mechanisms. Now this is weird, RJ replied. Now this is weird. Something had crashed in the Millennium Stadium grounds a few months ago. What could it be, he thought. The diagrams listed a map of the Millennium Stadium with the roof showing a circular panel. Now, I've never seen anything like that before, Ed said. RJ confirmed, yes, design flaw, maybe? Or is someone plotting something no one can guess? And that is where your time is up, the same loud voice sounded. Red reptilian creatures stared at RJ with the same gun. Silzardians, RJ exclaimed. What's this transmitter for then? He asked. The sun shall mark the day a Slizardonia is reborn, they screamed. Great, thanks for that. Just what I needed. Before they knew it, he hurled a spanner and a chisel at two Slizzardonians, bearing down on the both of them, and that gave him enough time to get out of there. Well, we know what they want. That's good for now, RJ said. What are they planning? Ed replied. Well, truth is, they want to convert this planet into Slizzardonia Mark II. For what reason, I don't know. The Millennium Stadium has a converter on the top. That's what that spire thing is. I saw those heat readings and they're off the scale. I think they must be used as a power source to transmit that huge transmitter. Once it's fully powered, it will produce an atmospheric conversion, which will make the atmosphere too hot to handle for humans, and they will all die out, turning the planet into Slizzardonia Mark II. We have to hurry, RJ said. Now they've been discovered, they will trigger the process. The two men reached the stadium that night when it's just so happened it was the same night as varsity. Ed, I need you to go to the central console system. This is how you'll get in. Handing him the psychic paper. Ed made his way to the. I'm gonna go to the roof and deactivate that transmitter. Ed made his way to the mechanism room where he encountered a Slizzard guard in the console. Running for his life, he had to think fast. What kills lizards, he thought. The Slizzard was equipped with a gun. If I get his gun, I can kill him. My only chance. Whack! Ed whacked him over with a sledgehammer, which he happened to find near in the mechanism room, before getting his gun and shooting him dead with it. Another Slizzard was bearing down on him, but Ed had a good aim as he fired a shot right into the lizard's head. Bang! He was blown to smithereens. He found the control area where he saw thousands of students arriving on the security cameras. I know what you're thinking, security cameras in an engineering room. And he managed to keep the temperatures down in the halls because the temperature level was rising by now. And he managed to keep them down, but only momentarily. Come on, RJ, he thought. The temperature was rising fast. It had to be like this, RJ thought, as he encountered the two Slizzards that he'd met earlier on the roof. Punching them heroically in the face, he made his way steadily to the transmitter. Just as they were recovering to come back at him, RJ whipped out his screwdriver. Big mistake wearing that kind of armour. See you in hell, he yelled. The armours exploded and the pair fell screaming to their unfortunate deaths. RJ only had a few seconds left before the beam came out. With the earth resting on his shoulders again, he ripped out the circuit of the transmitter. He got out just in time before it blew up, and he managed to meet Ed outside the stadium. You did well, he said. About bloody time too, Ed replied. Cutting it kind of close, don't you think? Well, I'm glad I got you, my friend. You're my partner in glory, RJ smirked. The end. For now.
Thank you. Handshake there is what that warranted. Thank you, RJ. That was epic again. I mean, it's epic's a big word, especially when it's used every time. I expect on your stories. But it's a legend of RJ, and it wouldn't be a legend if it wasn't epic.
Of course.
There we are. I've justified the use of the word epic. Right. We've got about sort of 6 or 7 minutes left in this show now. So quickly onto the riddle. All right. Mm-hmm. Now this riddle. Listen carefully.
Yeah.
Sadly, you've died. Okay.
Oh, sweet.
All right. Okay. Well, it could be sweet. You know, it's kind of related. Okay.
Oh God.
So you've died. You go up to. You're in a corridor. You face 2 doors. Okay.
Okay.
One door goes to heaven.
Yeah.
One door goes to hell.
And
they're guarded by 2 identical guards. So, identical doors, identical guards. Okay.
Oh God.
All right. You must choose one of them. All right. And you get to ask them one question. You get to ask one question to one of them. Okay.
What would it be?
I must tell you, one of these guards always lies, and one of these guards always tells the truth.
Sweet.
But you don't know which is which.
Cool.
What would the one question be?
One question. What's God like?
Okay. So you've decided to sacrifice the chance of heaven just for knowing what God's like.
Yeah. You can't. It's beyond comprehension. I can't imagine being in a scene that you've just described. I can't imagine what God's like.
Okay.
Stab.
So you ask one of them, and how do you know it's going to be a truthful answer?
Well, because the one from hell probably would, either say one of the two following answers. Oh, he's fantastic. I absolutely love him. He's really. He's like really powerful. He controls your destiny and stuff like that. The other will say, I can't tell you what he was like. To be honest, it's difficult to imagine, and but he's all powerful. He knows everything, and quite frankly,
I wonder if you stumbled across another answer. This could be completely by accident. I might be wrong here, but I suppose the liar. The liar would say, no, God's shit. God's rubbish, and then the one who's telling the truth. So from that question what they thought about God. I see where you're coming from.
I know. Yeah.
So what you thought about God, and based on that, you then choose the right door.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Your lateral thinking never ceases to amaze me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Great. I'm sort of bowled over. Okay, I might be giving you too much. I'm going to give some thought. Off air. We'll come back to the next show. Whether I'm giving you too much credit there, I think you may have been a bit of a pioneer with that one.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear that. To be honest,
I think it's fantastic. Okay.
Yeah.
Last one. Last item on the show is this dinner party. So I asked you, but we don't tend to prepare anything for this show. But I thought we don't want to be thinking. We don't want to spend too much time thinking about who the people are. I'm going to ask you some extra questions about why you've chosen them. So we asked you to think about 3 guests. It could be dead, could be alive, could be fictional, it could be real. Which 3 guests would you invite to a dinner party that you're hosting?
God.
Okay, God.
Doctor Who. And simply for the hell of it, Cesc Fabregas.
Well. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure Fabregas is honoured to be on the only sane human on that table. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so
such from me.
What would you cook?
Welsh beef.
Welsh beef. Okay.
Yeah. It's my cuisine.
You think God eats meat? He's not a vegetarian?
Yeah. Well. Oh, actually, no. Changed my mind. I'll go with food of the gods, pasta.
Food of the gods is pasta?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I like it. Yeah.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
great. It's healthy.
Do you have a particular type of pasta? Spaghetti or...
Squigglies. Muesli, I think.
Muesli?
Muesli.
Oh, fusilli.
Fusilli.
Right,
That's it.
okay, yeah,
That's it.
the sort of
That's it.
ones, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
And what sort of sauce?
I can't serve fajita sauce. That would be too spicy for
Yeah, no, for
for
that's for fajitas,
Fabregas.
I mean, Fabregas could have fajita sauce, of course.
So, I'll go with the classic tomato sauce by Jamie Oliver.
Okay, so tomato sauce and fusilli pasta. Okay, yeah. All right, can't go wrong. This is a very safe option. When you're having such a diverse list of guests as those 3, you want something that's accessible. All right, next question on it. What would you learn from them? So, what would you learn from God? What would you like to learn from God by having him over?
What is it like being you?
Okay, that'd be nice to know, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be nice to know. What potential do you have to do absolutely anything that you can ever imagine? That's all I can think of for God.
That's God.
From Doctor Who, I could ask. I could actually request to him. Look, you have to start bearing more consequences, and you have to give more thought. Be a bit more like.
What can you get from him? You want to learn from him?
Okay, from him, wonders of the universe. I'd like to know. What's the most dangerous place he's ever been to? What else?
Okay, and Fabregas.
And Fabregas. How the bloody hell do you have such a godlike touch? You've got a touch like God.
I mean,
okay?
God would know.
God know. Yeah, God would know. How the hell do you? What has your life been like? Cesc Fabregas, this is your life.
Oh, I have. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Interesting. Okay. And what
Yeah.
could they learn from you?
What can they learn from me? They can learn all about me. They can learn.
What could God learn from you?
He can learn that. Gosh, maybe somebody. He can know that I've got an imagination which could rival his. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, I wouldn't dispute it.
Maybe. Oh, thank you. That and probably. That I'm run by my convictions. Does he think that's right? For Cesc, I can teach him basically, just to work hard, I guess, and just to keep a level head, and also bloody hell, don't go to Barcelona. Stay with Arsenal until you're 32, and I'd be very happy. That would be a very good lesson. Doctor Who. Courage, wisdom. I could. I'd love to ask him about his wisdom. And
this is what you're. Giving him.
Be driven by your convictions. Don't be afraid to believe in stuff more, and expand your imagination. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
If it's possible.
Don't be Doctor Who. Be Doctor
Am. Dr. Am.
More convicted.
Yeah, more convicted.
Less questioning in a name.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're pretty much at the end of the show now.
Okay.
So as usual, I'll thank you. I've been Ed Carey.
I've been Rhys Jenkins.
And goodbye.
Goodbye.